pansexual, gender fluid, you know. So if any of you feel like telling me to go fuck myself, I'll be into that. Before we continue, can we just have a big round of applause for Jim and Jack for helping organize this wonderful event? And giving me the chance to do what I love most, which is to talk about me. So I'm Iranian, don't hold chair at once, it's okay, I know you're scared, but remember I'm more scared of you than you are of me.
I'm also British, and obviously British have never done anything bad.
So I'm going to ask you very nicely, please laugh at my jokes, because you don't want me to bomb. But even more, I don't want to bomb, because as a vegan, I don't have the energy or the patience to train 72 religions. And does God even care that it's pansexuals? I mean, or is he some sort of religious now? I don't know. But I love women, but if there's going to be 72, we have a few guys, maybe a few trans people, one little person, maybe a camel? I don't know. Are you want to be into that? No, we're not into camels. But there are cultural differences. For example, I see these Western people come back from Iran, they're like, oh my god, Iranians are so friendly, everywhere we went, people are giving us thumbs up. What they don't know, in Iran, thumbs up means fuck off. So in their head, they're saying, welcome to my country, sir. But really what they're saying is, fuck off back to your country, sir. Now I don't know when my accent changes to Abu from Simpsons, that's just because I'm becoming westernized. Another cultural difference, I've not been westernized enough to be able to use urinals. I still feel uncomfortable with urinals because I don't like the feelings of inadequacy they cause. Especially when somebody looks at me and realizes I'm having to use both hands to hold my dick. And it's not that I have a big dick, I just have very weak vegan arms. I think it's time I introduce myself. My name is Farz-Zaad, and I'm a recovering wankaholic. Yes, I said wankaholic, but I also said recovering, which means I've now realized that most of my reality was just a bunch of fantasies thought up by other people. Fantasy is a technical term I've invented to describe fantasies that get released into reality. So they start in your head, but the results could go everywhere. Going to the stock, on the sofa, on the ceiling. And it all started when I was 5 years old, and I made up this imaginary friend, and I called him Khabuji Mabuji, because why not? Khabuji Mabuji was with me everywhere. He saw everything I did, but he never judged me. He loved me, and I loved him. And we had a great relationship. But as I got older, my parents decided to replace my imaginary friend with their own imaginary friend, who had a much more common name that you might recognize. And he's still supposed to love me, but he had serious anger management issues. But if that wasn't enough, they also gave me two of their own fantasies, which were very different to each other. So to my mom, I was doodool tala. Doodool tala is an Iranian expression that means literally golden dick. It's amazing the amount of confidence you get when you're walking around thinking you're carrying like a 24-carat piece of dick. But my dad also had some choice words for me, which were a bit different. He'd say things like, I piss on your soul. Now, it turns out that having a golden shower of the soul is not conducive to your confidence as having a golden dick. But it's okay, because they kind of balanced each other out and until they didn't. And that was when I met the girl of my dreams. This girl was so perfect. I would have crawled over miles of broken glass, covered in AIDS-infected blood, just to kiss the tip of the last dick that fucked her. I was a good victim, so I had confidence. I was married. But much to my disappointment, she said yes. Yes? What's wrong with you, girl? You want to marry a guy whose soul is dripping with that piss? You have no standards. I can do better than that. And we never saw each other again. Sorry, I'm just trying to help you to remember this. So after that, I was destined to years of solitude, where I did actually perfect the art of my literal bankery, but we won't get into that tonight. But I also realized that I shouldn't live what other people's fantasies, and I should create my own fantasy that makes sense to me. And the greatest fantasy I came up with was to be a comedian.
Yeah. So it gives me a lot of joy tonight to watch that fantasy get released all over your beautiful smiling faces. Thank you.
So thank you so much for helping me. If you want to follow my recovery or need your help with your own recovery, please go to my website. This is not a joke. wearebankers.com.